Millions of years ago, Lucifer tried to start a rebellion against God, and God banished him out of heaven. He fell straight into hell, and the archangel Michael then chained him to a big rock and sealed him with his own sword. Just as Michael is about to leave, Lucifer swears that he will return equal to God.
I shall return to you as your creator, your God!
Over time, Lucifer gathers demons to help him plan his revenge. The demons start building a villa around the hole he fell through while waiting for him to come back. Back in the present, it's 2022, and an art expert named Laura is studying in Italy. She plans on writing a thesis about the great Italian artists who drew demons and angels, but didn't believe in them. But her professor doesn't like her idea because it mocks Italy's history. He then offers to talk about it alone at his place.
Why don't we discuss it later at my apartment?
So Laura walks away from him. Moments later, Laura meets Father Marconi, who gives her a special pass allowing her to see all of his cathedral's exhibits, including the brand new one of the Shroud of Turin. This shroud has blood from Jesus' death on the cross on it. Father walks her through the whole place. After seeing the shroud, Father shows her the latest artifact, a beautiful statue of Michael beating Lucifer.
The devil never rests.
They talk about the importance of Michael's win and the prophecies about the devil's return. Then Father leaves her alone to draw the statue for her thesis. But then, Laura hears a faint voice calling her, but no one's there, so she ignores it. A few hours later, the exhibition is almost over. A raven is flying around the building, and a woman named Liz enters the front door just in time and joins the last group of visitors. But she doesn't follow the guide and instead goes through an off-limits door. A guard notices this on the security cameras. Liz goes down the corridor with the statues and silently watches as Laura is drawing. But then Lucifer's head moves and she stops. Laura becomes worried again and checks her surroundings. She gets scared by a raven at the window. Liz steals Michael's sword from the statue while Laura is distracted by the bird. Then a guard finds Laura and thinks she's the person in the hood who got separated from the group. But Laura shows him the ID and tells him that she is allowed in this area. The guard tells her that they're closing and walks away, thinking it was a misunderstanding. Laura takes her things and notices Michael's hand, but she can't tell the difference. She then goes to the front door, but it's locked, so she looks for another exit. She gets back to the corridor, but then she sees Liz killing a guard with a sword. This scares the shit out of her, and she runs for her life and hides in a confessional booth. Liz takes the guard's head and uses it to turn off the alarms. She then takes the sword and breaks the glass that protects the shroud in order to steal the relic. Marconi, who hears the sound, tries to stop her, but Liz kicks him down and then stabs him with the sword. Her goons also show up to help her protect the shroud, but when they are about to leave, Liz spots Laura in the booth and tells his men to take her with them. When everyone is gone, Marconi prays with his last breath and calls Michael to use his body and stop Lucifer. Just then, Michael descends from heaven, takes control of his body and chases after Liz's group as they leave in their car. Michael can run very fast because of his angel powers, but a human body can't handle so much power, so he stops to avoid the body being destroyed. Meanwhile, a group of wealthy people are watching a child play the violin with incredible skill. After the performance, Dr. Laurent reveals that this kid is a clone of Antonio Vivaldi. This is the latest famous personality clone out of many clones that his company has been creating using DNA extracts from their graves. The babies are then auctioned to rich people, and today's offer is a clone of Michelangelo. Liz shows up at the auction and tells Laurent that they have the shroud. Moments later, the group gets to Lucifer Villa.
Everything I have worked for has been for this moment.
He is excited to see the shroud, which means he can finally make a clone of Jesus. Meanwhile, Laura is locked up in a glass cell with Brenda and two other women. One of them is crying non-stop and starts shouting. So Laura says nice things to help her calm down. Laura says that they should work together, but before they could plan something, a group of nurses show up to check on them. They grab Laura and click a photo of her. On the other side, Michael goes back to the church and finds other priests looking over the security footage. They are shocked to see Marconi alive, but Michael doesn't reveal the secret. He instead asks about the defenders of the shroud. The priests say that Cardinal Vincini was the security in charge, but everyone thought he had gone crazy when he began talking about demons and hidden cults. Michael gets mad that priests don't believe in what the Bible says, so he asks them about Vincini's location, and they tell him that he's now a hermit living alone in an asylum. He transfers the security footage and then asks them about Laura and shows them her pass. He takes their promise of not telling anyone that they saw him. After that, Michael steals a jacket and drives away with Marconi's car. He takes some medicine from the glove box to reduce the pain due to Michael's powers. A raven has been following him the whole time. Scientists at the villa are working hard to get Jesus' DNA from the shroud. Michael arrives at the asylum and then...
Who the hell are you?
He meets Vincini, who is armed with a shotgun. He is frustrated that everyone thought he was crazy.
You're no priest.
He then sees a vision of Michael and immediately believes that he's an angel. Vincini knows about Liz and shows Michael the house they made around the villa to hell and tells him that the asylum is just a place to keep an eye on them. The scripture talks about Lucifer coming back one day, and for that, he needs two ancient beasts from both worlds. One is the beast of the ground and the other is the woman, who's Liz. For many years, Lucifer's disciples gave him children to possess, but those human bodies were too weak to hold him. That's why they have stolen the shroud so that they could clone Jesus, as he is the only one strong enough for Lucifer to possess. Michael feels disgusted and says he will stop them no matter what it takes, so Vincini drives Michael to the Villa Mountain. Michael's presence makes his sword move, and Lucifer pulls the chain to finally break the seal. Back to the villa, the women talk about their personal lives while trying to figure out how to break free. Laura tells them that she has lost her husband and child. Laurent does some tests and finds that Laura is a perfect match.
DNA is complete.
Liz tells him to speed up the process. The nurses then go back to the cell to get the girls, but the women fight back by using their chains. But more come into the cell and quickly control them. They take Brenda and Laura to the operation room. There, the doctors put fertilized eggs with Jesus DNA into Laura's uterus. Then Liz shows up.
Calm yourself.
She tells her that she knows she's the chosen one, as she saw her sketches of Lucifer in the cathedral. Meanwhile, Vincini leaves Michael at the entrance of a secret cave that goes straight to the villa. Before he leaves, Vincini notices the raven that's been following them and shoots it. He then hands Michael his gun, who immediately walks into the cave. Shortly after, Laura and Brenda, who are dressed as brides, are taken to a group of people worshipping Lucifer, where they are tied to a pole.
Help me!
Suddenly, the beast of the ground shows up and grabs the girls. He puts them in a big bird cage and sends them down the hole of hell, and then several demons surround the cage and hold the women still, while the essence of Lucifer rises up and goes inside Brenda's mouth. Brenda struggles against the devil for a while, but she is too weak and eventually dies. Then Lucifer leaves her body and enters Laura instead. However, she doesn't face any problems due to Lucifer's possession. Later, she walks outside, and Liz walks up to her.
The chosen one!
She takes her to a new glass cell with a bed and a vital sign monitor. Laura walks out of the cell in a daze. Laura asks her what's inside her, and Liz replies,
Better, Jesus.
Back to Michael. He finds a door in the cave tunnel and shoots it open to get into the villa. The guards notice him, but his gun doesn't work, so the guards shoot him in the shoulder. Michael uses his powers to heal himself and hits the guards a few times to knock them out. He then steals their uniform and a pass and goes inside unnoticed. Michael goes straight to the lab and takes the shroud. He then checked the security cameras to find Laura. At that moment, Laurent walks into the lab and Michael quickly pushes him against the table and asks why he stole the shroud. But Laurent just says, Michael opens the gas canisters, lights a flare to blow up the whole and kills the guards. The building's fire alarm starts blaring, and Laura begs the nurse to let her go. But the guy doesn't allow it. Just then, Michael knocks out the nurse and Laura hugs him, feeling grateful that Marconi is still alive. But Lucifer starts talking to him telepathically and teases him about his freedom. Michael gets angry because he doesn't know how he freed himself. When Michael doesn't escape, Laura thinks that he is with Liz. She is scared and runs away, but Michael grabs her quickly and drags her into a room before the guards can find her. Laura then takes his gun.
Who the hell are you then?
But Michael tells her that he's on her side and starts treating his bullet wound. Then Laura tells him that they implanted something into her, so Michael takes her with him to protect her. When Liz sees them leave, she sends her men after them, but one of the guards almost shoots Laura. Liz kills him as she doesn't want Laura to get hurt. Michael and Laura try to escape through the tunnel, but Laura starts to feel labor pains as the baby is growing too fast. The beast then catches up to them and starts attacking Michael. He tries to shoot him and then fights back well for a while, but soon his human body gives up and the beast knocks him down. Liz and her goons show up and arrest Laura. Laura threatens to hurt the baby if they hurt Marconi, but Liz tells her that the priest is already dead and now they have to kill the angel inside him. Laura is taken back to her cell and chained to the bed. Michael is chained in the room with the hole to hell. He breaks the chains using his power, but this makes him very weak. He drags his body through the ground until he gets to the hole. He opens it up and jumps in right before the beast can catch him. As soon as he lands in hell, Michael is attacked by a demon, and he quickly pushes it away. away. He looks at the rock and is shocked to find that his sword isn't there. More demons show up and use Lucifer's sword to lock Michael up, the same way Michael locked Lucifer. On the other hand, Laura's baby is growing at an extremely fast rate. Liz informs Laura that this baby will take the place of the one she lost, but she says that they are not the same. Laura watches the baby on the screen and then but thankfully, she wakes up and realizes it was all a dream. Liz is sitting next to her and asks if Lucifer talks to her, but Laura doesn't answer. Liz then starts telling the story of how Lucifer fought the tyrant they call God. Laura says she doesn't give a shit. Liz says once the baby is born, she will be free, but for now, she wants respect. Moments later, some kids come across Michael on the rock. These kids are the failed sacrifices who have been working together to stay alive in hell. Michael says he'll take them home if they can find his sword, but the kids doubt him as he's also an angel like Lucifer. Suddenly, the demons interrupt the conversation, and the kids try to escape. As the demons capture some of them, Michael becomes enraged but can't do anything. Back in the cell, Lucifer's spirit leaves Laura's uterus and enters her mind. He offers her a deal. If she lets him into her life, Lucifer will help kill the person who killed her family and also Liz, whom Laura hates the most. Laura accepts the deal, lies down on the bed, and allows Lucifer to take over the baby while she dreams of loving her child. Liz sees everything and starts to worry that Laura is getting too strong. After that, a nurse comes and runs some tests, and Laura uses her new powers to put down the lights and kill him. She then leaves the room and runs into another nurse. She kicks his head until he is dead. Laura comes back from Lucifer's possession and realizes what she has done. She is scared of what she did and decides to kill the baby before things get even worse. Lucifer calls her mom and begs her not to do it, but Laura doesn't listen to him and runs into a cleaning closet as guards start to chase her. Once the door is locked, Laura grabs a bottle of chlorine and struggles against Lucifer to drink it. When Laura starts to throw up and move around in pain, Liz kicks the door open and shouts at her for what she did to the baby. When Liz tries to leave to find a doctor, she quickly closes the door with her powers and crawls to her. She puts her on the ground then. Lucifer is controlling her body, and he's punishing Liz for trapping him inside Laura's stinking ass. Liz wishes she had been the chosen one, but Lucifer won't listen to her pleas for new orders. After the birth, no one should know what happened here, so everyone must die. He's also afraid that Laura and the baby are getting close, which means after the birth she must die too. When Laurent comes in, Lucifer hits him and asks him to save him from the chlorine. Moments later, they put Laura's body in a healing pod. For a while, Lucifer's spirit leaves her body and possesses a demon in hell to talk to Michael and make fun of his failure. The kids watch this from behind and see that Michael is a good guy. When Lucifer leaves, Michael finally realizes why God is letting this happen. The kids then come to save him, but they're not strong enough to break the chains, so they look for Michael's own sword. They find it under some rubble, but before they can give it to Michael, some devils show up and offer them freedom. The kids aren't sure at first, but then they remember what they heard and give Michael the sword. Michael transforms back into his original form and kills the demons. He promises the kids that he will come back soon to get them. Michael returns back to Earth in Marconi's body and gets the shroud before going back to the main building. There he beats up a guard, takes his gun, and then goes to check on Laura. When he gets there, Lucifer's voice answers him. Michael starts pushing the pod into another room. A nurse sees him and he locks the door. When Michael opens the pod, Lucifer shouts and pushes him away. Michael tries to tell Laura that the baby is not what she thinks. Then Lucifer moves Laura's body to stand on top of Michael. He then tells Michael that Laura's water has broken and pours it on the angel, which burns his body. Lucifer grabs Michael as he tries to escape and holds him on Laura's lap while he asks to worship him. When Michael says no, Lucifer stabs him in the neck with Laura's fingers, but Michael won't give up and tells them what he found. God is letting this happen because if Lucifer gets into Jesus' holy body, Jesus will control him and lock him up forever. When Lucifer hears this, he gets very angry and starts throwing stuff, which knocks out Michael. Liz and the guards show up and Lucifer orders her to kill the baby, but Liz thinks it's Laura talking again, so she orders the guards to take her to the altar. Laura delivers the baby on top of the hole to hell, and Liz takes the baby right away. Laura is alone on top of the hole to hell. The beast opens the door and she falls down. The beast then joins the others outside. Liz shows Lucifer's followers their new savior and tells them he will be baptized with blood instead of water. The beast then kills every follower. Laurent is shocked and happy to be spared, and he kisses the baby's head, but then the beast kills him as well. Meanwhile, Michael regains consciousness and breaks the window with his gun. He goes into the room with the hole to hell and sees Laura hanging off the edge. He pulls her up, and then they both go out to get the baby. Liz is getting into the car to drive with the baby, but Laura jumps on her and smacks her. Michael tells Liz that the baby isn't Lucifer and asks no harm for the baby. The devil didn't choose Laura, but God did. She gave birth to what will be Lucifer's prison from now on. Laura gets in the car and drives off to find Vincini. Michael goes back to fight, as the hole to hell is now open and the demons are trying to get out. When Michael tries to close it, the beast shows up, throws him away, and opens the well again. Before the beast can do that, Michael finds the bombs Liz planted to get rid of the proof and sets them off. The explosion destroys the whole building and hides the hole under the debris. Later, Vincini takes Laura and the baby to the cathedral and returns the shroud. Michael, on the other hand, goes back to hell to free all the kids, as promised. After some time, Laura is living with Vincini in the asylum to keep the child safe. The child is now grown up and healthy. One day, Liz sneaks into the forest to keep an eye on the family and calls for Lucifer. But when the devil tries to escape, the child simply absorbs him back into his body to keep him locked up, and the movie ends. Subscribe to watch more movie recaps like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.